Hi, my name's Tom. When you think about improving the heating and cooling of your home, you probably don't think about a fan first, but you should. Before you upgrade your furnace or before you buy a new air conditioner, you should consider a smart fan. This is the DREO Pedestal Smart Fan. DREO sent this to me to go ahead and kind of give you an overview of all the different features, and I gotta admit, I'm pretty blown away by this, pun intended. This is actually a really, really nice fan. Here's the fan itself. As you can see, it looks really neat. You'll see it moving in a second. This is the silver version. There is also a gold version. You get the fan, and then you have the entire stand. It comes pre-assembled. There is a little holder for a remote, and then you have the actual weighted base. And it's a pretty solid base. It's not going to go anywhere. This is adjustable. You can go up and down. There's a little thumb screw on the back. You can turn it. It'll go up and down about 5 inches here. The entire assembly for this is all you do is you put this into a slot and you screw in a screw, and it even gives you a tool for that. One screw assembly. It does have a cord and a power block over there. The power block in this case actually kind of leads down, so you want to go ahead and plan your plugs accordingly, but the cord's plenty long so you can kind of move it around your room. This is your main control panel right here. I'm going to turn it on, and you can see here is actually the display of the mode and the speed. I can do a lot of different controls. We'll talk about those in a moment. So first of all, DREO is a very good company. They make a lot of fans, heaters, humidifiers. They make a lot of good things for home comfort. We've got a couple different products. They all last. They're all easy to use, and they look great, seem to be good build quality. I like DREO a lot. Another cool thing about using DREO is most of their controls are very consistent amongst their products. So we have a DREO heater in our bedroom, and that little heater actually has very similar controls to the fan. There's a couple different ways to control this fan. One, you can control it with the actual control panel on the front of the fan. That's fine. Most of the buttons are right there. As you press the buttons, things will go ahead and turn on. You can see the little mode at the top. You get an idea. This little light, by the way, this will eventually turn itself off. It comes on for a little bit, kind of shows you the mode, and then it turns itself off for easy sleeping at night. You can also control the fan with the remote. The buttons on the remote are very similar to the buttons on the front of the fan. So you can go ahead and be anywhere in the room. It's an IR remote. You press your button, you turn your fan on, and you can see the display on the fan itself. You can also control your fan with an app that can be downloaded from any app store for free. Or you can also go ahead, and if you have the app, you can also use your Alexa or your Google Assistant to go ahead and control the fan. I don't use them a whole lot, but that is a really nice feature to be able to like sit in bed and say, Alexa, turn the fan down or turn the fan off, turn the fan on. And without getting out of bed, that's a really cool feature. So let's talk about the app a little bit. Setting up the app is pretty straightforward. You want to go ahead and download it. You want to log in. You will have to create some kind of an account. Then you go ahead and you add the app. You want to turn on Bluetooth. Your phone connects to your fan. Your fan gets Wi-Fi password, just like most of the other devices. But once you have it on there, you can go ahead and do all sorts of cool things with the app itself. I'm going to go ahead and turn my fan on with my app, and it just went ahead and turned on. Now I can do all sorts of cool things. It does show the temperature of the room in the app. You have a little timer over on the left, a little clock. You can change modes. You can change speeds. There's a lot of different cool things you can do. Big thing you can do with all three of the methods, the app, the remote, and the controls, is you can change the oscillation and the turning of this fan. Lots of different features here, and I'll explain why you would want to do that in a moment. You can turn off your panel sound. So by default, it does not beep, but you can make it beep. You can turn it beep. There we go. I don't know if you can hear it, but my fan just beeped. I turn it back off. You can do the adaptive brightness, which will control the brightness of the actual controller. You can child lock it out. You can change the oscillation a little bit. You can fix it, change between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Just lots of cool things. I can go ahead and change the fan speed. So right now it's fan speed 1. As I turn the app up, I'll leave it there. Now it's on 8, so it's blowing a lot more. You might even be able to hear a little bit on the mic. And then I'll turn it right back down. Turn it back into like 2, and now it's 2. Instantly turns down. It really does work very, very well. I have not seen an app for a device like this that is so well thought out in a long time. So this is a really, really great feature. So let's talk about rotation, because that's one of the cool things about the DREO. I'm going to use a remote, but you can also, again, use the buttons on the front of it, or you can go ahead and use the app. This rotates in a number of different ways. I'm going to go ahead and first do a vertical up and down rotation. So I hit a little button on here. Now this says 1. There's actually like different modes for up and down rotation, and it goes different angles. So if I go ahead and click that a couple times, that's 3. That should be all the way up and down. Now, the cool thing about this, it does come with instructions, with detailed instructions for a quick start as well as for a regular uh, uh, full-blown instructions. Now, if you get it to a spot you like, so this is actually pointing straight up right now, you can just hit the little vertical button again and freeze it there. It'll stay in whatever position it goes to. So now it'll just stay there and blow upwards. Now, why would you want your fan to point straight up? Here's why. If your home has floor vents that blow up heating or cooling, forced air heat or forced air cooling, this will greatly improve that. I'm in a room right now on purpose where it's normally very, very hot during the summertime. We have big windows. The AC just doesn't work well in here. We don't get enough AC in here. We played around with this a little bit yesterday when it was a little warmer. We put this right on top of, right next to the floor vent. We turned on our AC. This sucked all that cool air up, blew it around the room. The room felt amazing. We actually cooled the room using our regular house AC, but using this fan that could blow straight up. Now, we did crank the speed up to about 4 or 5 to really kind of pull that air up. But the same with heat. If you have heat coming out of a floor vent, you can go ahead, turn it upwards. You can go ahead and maybe put the speed like 2 or 3 and just pull that heat up into the room. That is where it's really, really helpful. Same thing with a window AC unit, obviously. If you have a window unit, you don't want it to be at this angle. You might want it to be kind of, next to the window unit or near it, and that will blow that air out and just spread that air a whole lot more. Air conditioners typically work great. It's the little lousy fans in them that don't work great or that break down and don't push the cool air out. This will do that for it. So let's talk about some other rotations. I'm going to get it keep going here, so it's going to keep going. You can also obviously go back and forth like a regular fan. I'll click on that. A lot of stand fans have this, but in this case, the whole base turns. Now I have both going on right now. I have it going up and down and turning back and forth, and there are multiple modes of this. Will go all the way around. It can cover up to 150-degree area, so that's a really, really wide room. So you could put this in a corner and pretty much hit the entire room with those angles. And I'm just going to let this thing kind of go, and you can just see it almost looks like an art piece the way it just kind of moves around. It's going up and down and moving the air all over the place. It really is. It looks great. It works well, and it's really, really very quiet. There is zero mechanical clicking, zero mechanical turning, nothing going on with any of this horseshoe or this base here. It's all dead silent. The only thing you hear is the fan, which is very low. This is a brushless motor in here. That means it's going to reduce the sound that the fan makes, and you hear it pushing the air. It's really very, very quiet compared to any other stand fan you've normally used in your home. You will have to play with this to get all the modes down, but there are a lot of neat modes. This is just regular fan mode, and by the way, there are 9 different speeds. All the speeds there's a noticeable difference between them. When you get up to 9, you are really pushing some air around the room. It's really pretty amazing. There's also an auto mode that will go ahead and you can actually set the temperature that you want it to be, and it will try to push the air around to get to that temperature. There's a natural mode, so it'll be more like wind, so it'll kind of go up and down and up and down. And because it's so quiet, you will feel it, you'll hear a little bit, but there won't be a real increase in humming. It's just a very, very neat mode. A lot of fans are starting to have this, but the DREO actually does it a little better than most of the other smart fans that I've ever seen. This is just a really, really nice mode to kind of be natural with. So you can actually build custom modes in the app. You can really play around with it. The app really, really kind of gives it an extra oomph of power that the remote and the buttons just can't do. There's also kind of a special sleep mode where when you first go to bed at night, your bedroom might be warm from the whole day, so you can put this up on a higher setting. So maybe you go to sleep and it's an 8 setting. And what happens is during the night, the whole house will start to cool down. And eventually you'll start to get cold because your fan's been set at 8 the whole night. In sleep mode, the fan will actually lower its speed down as the night wears on so that it doesn't get too cold in your room. We did this 2 nights ago just for kind of experimenting, and it was really pretty cool. We set it at 8, we went to bed, and we woke up the next day, I think it was down to 2 or 3. It was just really, really neat to kind of have it just slowly move down and automatically adjust itself to a regular sleep cycle as the room slowly cooled down. It is amazing for summer sleeping. This is kind of the fan you want. Combined with the app and all of your different settings, this can make your home much more comfortable during any summer weather. hot, cold, whatever you got, this is going to help. So here's one of those fun experiments we've been doing in the house. We've been actually turning it on, and it's on 7, speed 7 right now, and then standing on the other side of the room and then kind of measuring how much air we can feel. Yes, it's really pumping out air like that. So here we are. I'm about 12 feet or so, maybe 13 feet away from that fan. It is on speed 7. It's aimed right towards me, and I can feel it. The curtains behind me are actually blowing. I have a little kind of a little wind speed thing here, and you can see it's probably getting, there we go, about 2 or 3 miles per hour, depending upon what the angle I hit it at. It's still coming over here from 15 feet away. The way this thing works, it's blowing kind of a stream of air, and it kind of widens out to a little bit of a cone, so I can move this side over here and this side over here, and I can still feel it. It really will cool off an entire room just by putting it in a corner, turning it on, letting it go for a few minutes. You can feel it. It really is pretty amazing. We've been like walking 15, 20 feet away, and you can still feel it when you put it on the high speed. And you probably can't hear it. We could easily watch TV. We could talk in here. There's no real extra sound. It is a hum. It does make sound because it's pushing air, but there's no motor sound. You don't hear that engine running. You don't hear that motor spinning. You don't hear any clicks when it turns. It's just a really, really nice fan. So overall, this is a great fan. Between the functionality, the control options, the speed options, the quietness, the stability of the fan, the whole thing is just a premium experience. It is a great smart fan, and I highly recommend it.